Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of our live series featuring our beloved game, Candy Crush Saga. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vittorio, and I'm based here in London, England, in the events team. And I'm so excited about today's event. Joining me today, we have Therese and Saga, a lovely lady level designers from the Candy Crush Saga team. And they'll be giving you an exclusive sneak peek into our milestone level 10,000, which is incredible. And it's coming to you again very soon. So it's definitely exciting. Today, you also have the opportunity to create a level with the help of Therese and Saga. So there is a lot that will happen. Before we kick off, a couple of technicalities. So if I can have the next slide, please. As you can see, the audio and video are off. Don't worry about it. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the session. We also have a chat feature, which I can see lots of you are using. So you're all Zoom experts by now. And we have a Q&A feature, which you should be able to find at the bottom of your screen. And that's very important because we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So if you have any questions about the game, anything you see during the presentation, please send us your questions and I'll be sure to ask them to Therese and Saga at the end. We'll also have some polls during the presentation where we'll be asking your opinion about certain things. The polls are anonymous, so you can give us your opinion freely and honestly, and that will help us improve the game. So please get involved. After this, if I can have the next slide, please. Just something very important and very boring. Promise it's the last thing I'll talk about. Any content that you see on screen today is strictly confidential, so please do not record or share anything you see because publicly disclosing this information is prohibited. And without further ado, I'll pass over to my colleague Therese, who will run through the agenda for the day. So Therese, over to you.
Hello. Can everyone hear me well? I hope.
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Awesome. Yeah. This is amazing. So many people already here. So today we'll go through just a quick run through the road towards level 10,000, the steps we took to create level 10,000 itself, and we'll, as mentioned, we'll also build a lovely level and then have some questions. But first, we'll go through a little bit who we are. So let's see. Oh, it's my game. There we go. Yeah, so as mentioned, I'm Therese. I'm a level designer in Candy Crush. I've been working with Candy for 3.5 years. We're based in Stockholm, and one of my earliest level I ever created was level 3,352. Unfortunately, it was quite quickly tweaked, but that happens. And with me, I also have my lovely colleague, Saga.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see so many of you here. Yes, I am Saga and also based in Stockholm. I have been at Candy for I've been 9 months or something like that. Not as long as Therese. But I work a lot with the end of content and a lot with, updating the levels around there and creating new levels. And it's so fun to get to put out new content for you guys every week. Yeah, that's a bit about me and what I do here.
Yeah. Cool. So let's jump into the road of level 10,000. And as you maybe know already, that Candy is already 9 years old. So reaching 10,000 is huge, and it's all thanks to you guys. And next year we will also be celebrating 10 years, which will be even bigger almost than level 10,000 itself. So looking forward to celebrating that as well with you guys. Let's talk about the road. So first off, where does all the levels come from? Like you may ask, and a majority is just us level designers building them. Like majority of all the levels are handcrafted from a designer. We are all part of the content team that we call itself in Candy. We have many teams, but content team is one of them. And the content team itself contains of us level designers, but also game artists, developers, and more disciplines. But the biggest amount of people within this team is us designers. And in the early days, everyone could make levels, but nowadays it's majority us designers. But we are located in 4 different locations. So we are currently in 4 different offices, or technically not even in the offices because we're working from home, but on paper, we're in 4 different locations. And as I mentioned, it's a big party because in the beginning, everyone was making levels, even programmers and developers, producers, you name it. But nowadays, everything is validated by us. So it's a big difference before how it was made, how it was used to do it 9 years ago compared to nowadays. But yeah, on the road, we have some fun facts. So one of the hardest levels we currently have in the game is actually level 6052. Maybe many of you have already played it and passed it. I'm good for you. I'm sorry for those that will reach it soon. I hope no one is stuck on this. Back in the day, it usually took us 2 weeks before we could send out tweaks. Nowadays, we usually tweak levels once a day. So we go through all the levels in the saga. We try to maintain it. It takes a while. It's 10,000 levels. But we're working on it. We're always trying to improve it. So yeah, but it used to take 2 whole weeks before we could do any changes. So we're happy that it doesn't take that long anymore. And in 2018, we released 71 episodes, and this year we have already released 86, which is just a huge number. So 2018 was when I started, and then for a full year, and then half a year has gone and we already passed that. So much changed, and that's why it's such a lovely place to work on and work for you as well. And then we have, since 2018, it was not only like amount of episodes that have increased quite a lot, we also started making a much more new features. And one of the earliest features that we started making after, I think it was the, what is it called? Bobber was the oldest one, and then we had a long pause for a few years, but then we released the walls, and since then we have released more than 50 new features. But we haven't only added features, we also removed features from throughout the years, and you may know some of them. The Toffee Tornado was very short-lived. I think it was just live for a few months. This was even before I started. It basically ruined all the levels that we created, so it was short-lived. But yeah, I know it. You probably have heard about it. It doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, and then we have also removed the mystery candies and chameleon candy that existed before. And the main reason for removing those 2 features that we did quite recently was the mystery candy didn't really work when we started adding so many new features because we couldn't really control it. And the chameleon candy was boring in short, and we wanted to make room for more fun and useful features. So that was in short why we removed it. But we also removed a few game modes, like the time game mode, and we also recently removed all the score levels. And the time levels, the biggest reason was because candy is supposed to be fun and relaxing, and having it timed is not was the opposite of what we wanted to. So, but yeah, and I know some people still love the time jelly levels. We have no plan of adding it yet. We'll see what happens, but we'll try to keep, our aim is to keep Candy fun and relaxing for everyone. But we have added instead one new game mode since then. So we have added Rainbow Rapids. So we currently have 4 unique game modes. It's Jelly, Ingredient, Order, and Rainbow Rapids. And then we have all the mixed modes. So in total, we have 10. We still have 10 game modes. So I hope it's enough for everyone. Yeah. But then let's continue. Oh, I jumped too far. And as you know, as throughout the 9 years Candy has been, we have done some art updates. So here we can see some of the new tastier looks that we have given the cake, the Moloch, the toffee, and old, but almost the best featured is the frosting. Just to give you a throwback how it used to look like back in the day. I don't know, I'm not sure when this picture was taken, but to the right you have the old looks of Candy, and to the left you have the new version, which I would say looks much tastier and more likely. Like, I just love the look, but the candies have gotten an update. I think everything on the View has gotten an update throughout the years, and that's why we try to keep with Candy as well. Just keep updating it and keeping it like we learn, and the game evolves, just like we do. So yeah, this is a short throwback. But it's not only us that making it a lot of levels. You guys are crushing it as well. So in a week, you have exploded 7.5 times more color bombs than there are liters of water on Earth in just 1 week. You have also collected 350 times more score than there are trees in the world in also 1 week. And then in a month, you crushed twice as much of chocolate that is produced in 1 year. And in just 1 day, you swipe the 20 times around Earth together. So you're doing a huge amount of impact. Yeah, but going into that was just a small talk about the road to 10,000, and I know you're all here for 10,000 itself, so let's jump into it and talk about what we started, of how we tackled this task, which was not an easy one.
Huge task.
Yeah, and yeah, but first, as 10,000 is for you guys, our first step was actually reaching out to you. So that was the first thing we did.
Yeah, we really wanted to include everyone. We really wanted to include the community, especially all the players. And community is such a great way for us to reach out to the players. I think it's great that a lot of players actually went in and voted for what game mode they wanted level 10,000 to be. So yeah.
Yeah, and we got the game mode, and we got a bunch of other feedback that we gathered and took to our hearts and started looking into what can we use, and just starting to get a better picture of what you guys wanted this level to be. So thank you everyone for your feedback. It was super useful for us, and some of the things we couldn't add to the level itself, but we also tried to then try to get that around the level itself, so the levels before and after. So even if we couldn't make everyone happy, we tried to at least include that to the episode itself. So with your feedback in hand, we started iterating on the layout of the level, and we had in the beginning 2 level designers which started with this. As you can see here, we have 6 examples of different ways of
draft that we made.
Yeah.
And from this, we then started discussing about, what elements we should keep, what we should improve on, if we had any good examples that we could go from. And then all of us sat down and we encouraged all the level designers that are in the team to come up with their own designs. And eventually we got some more improved designs to look at. And we moved on to these. None of these is actually what we went with, but these were the contenders next to it.